Instead of sitting inside and watching some YouTube videos today, I would make one. And I've been meaning to make videos a lot this year. I feel like the premise of the year for me was creation over consumption, and then things got very busy and I didn't really know how to start again. So hopefully I'm starting again. I have a topic. It was just a simple topic that I wanted to talk about, and that is, what's it like being full-time photo? So what's it like being full-time photo? I have a few points here, just a few. We'll keep this under 10 minutes. Ready, go. I have more time and less time. So when you work for yourself, everyone kind of assumes that you're going to have so much more time, you can make your own schedule. That's true, but you also have less time because you have a lot more responsibilities, right? I am doing so much more than when I was in my corporate job. Now, that's not to say that I wasn't working at Tommy's Express, but the different things that I'm doing there are much more different things that I'm doing, and they all require my attention and effort and excellence. And so I can't really skip out on any of those. In that sense, I have less time because I am working a lot more. I think I was working 40 to 45 hours a week at Tommy's, usually just 40, right? Usually it was a 9 to 5, and then at 5 we're done. Didn't really have to do much over the weekends, but now it's at least 40 on my own, just at different times, right? So there are some Mondays or Tuesdays where I have a lot more time to myself, and there are a lot of weekends that I have the whole thing and I don't have to do any work at all, right? It just depends on the season. So more time, less time. Number 2 was more responsibility and less responsibility. So more responsibility being that I don't have a boss. If this thing fails or succeeds, it's all on me. So if I want it to succeed, I have to try hard. And if I don't want it to succeed, then I will not try at all. I would also say that I have less responsibility because no one is handing anything to me. I am the one handing myself everything, and so I am not responsible for maybe things I didn't want to do. I'm not responsible for things that genuinely didn't make a company effort or an impact. There was not too much of that at Tommy's. I don't feel like I did things that were silly or stupid. But I know that the things that I am putting my effort to now are always actionable. They're always directly tied back to how the business does and performs, and it's very clear to see. So in that sense, I would say, I don't know if that breaks down into less responsibility, but the things that I'm responsible for, I know they have like a very measurable impact. Something else I would say is I have more freedom and less freedom, or more freedom and less security. So I have more freedom because I can do whatever I want. Right now it's about 7 o'clock and I'm sitting on my front porch making a video. This is technically work. I'm technically done with work. So I have the freedom really to work whenever I want. That is one thing that is an ultimate benefit of working for myself as a photographer, is that I truly can make my own schedule. And I love that. I have loved being able to figure out when I do things best. I can decide when meetings are. I can decide when I do and don't work. I have learned what success means for Micah and like where and how he works and what he does. I don't have to do certain types of shoots anymore. I can just say no or charge more for those shoots and not get as many as I did this year with grad photos. But there is less security with the more freedom. So there's less security in that I don't necessarily know how the market is going to react to new prices, different content, different marketing initiatives. I can't really decide how things go. I can make predictions, I can do my best efforts, I can say all the right things, I can try to put my best foot forward, but at the end of the day, COVID could happen again and all of my work could dry up, and that's scary. So in that way, there is a lot less security. There's not a salary, there's not insurance or benefits that someone else is like paying for me. However, I have freedom in Christ, and so my identity and freedom being in Jesus means that I'm free to live into the call that I have on my life in obedience. I believe that I have a call in my life to create, I believe that God has given me gifts and talents and has entrusted me with them and said, hey, take all that I've given you and flourish. And I want to flourish, right? I saw a meme the other day that said, and when God gives you the ball, you ball. And I feel like God has given me the ball with cameras right now. I don't know how long that lasts. I don't know how long I do the camera thing. The camera thing is really fun right now and I like it, but there is no guarantee that I continue to do this long term. I would like to build a business that makes that happen, but ultimately I've discovered that just working for myself would be amazing. I love portraits, I love people, and I think with talent comes security. There comes a certain sense of security, I think, but it is not a guarantee. It is definitely not something I can hang my hat on and say like, oh, like this is always going to work out. I think number 4 would obviously be, it is fun. Like this is a fun thing to do. This is a fun thing to spend my time with. And I feel extremely privileged to spend my time doing something I actually love. I don't love every single part of it every day. That would be a lie. There are some things that I truly don't want to do, like posting on social media. Sometimes creating content is a chore. Editing photos can be a little rough if it takes a really long time, right? But there are things that I genuinely love and have fun with, and I love the sales process. I love meeting new people. I love the shooting process, right? The creating process is just so fun for me. And now that I get paid to do that fully and with excellence, it's amazing. It's awesome. It feels so cool to be staring at the camera that I never thought I would have. Yeah, my work has also improved greatly. I think I'm providing clients with a better experience. I'm providing myself with a better experience. So like all around, I am doing a better job, and I love that. I love that I don't have to come home from work and try to give it my best. I think that was a good learning experience, and it'll probably come up more in, whenever I'm a husband or a father, if that's what God has for me. But I know that what I'm doing for my clients and my people now is far better than it was when I was doing 2 jobs. And so I am grateful for the excellence that I can give them. That is something that I wanted to give for a long time, but never really believed in myself to be able to do. And so being full-time photo means I'm just doing better work. And it's not just the photos, right? It's the whole experience surrounding it. The website, the payment process, the gallery delivery process, like everything is just better. It's like, 2 or 3 steps better, or sometimes 10 steps better. And I like doing good work. I think that I do make excuses sometimes. I think that I always could get better at some things, and I just make excuses and say, oh, I don't have to be better at that, or I don't need to do this. This wouldn't help me that much. But now I really do have the bandwidth to do all these things. And so I guess my final point, which I did not write down, would be that I have no excuses. I have the time, the responsibility, the freedom, the fun, the capacity to like really do this well and to really provide the experience that people deserve and that I think that they deserve and I want to provide. And so all that said, there are no excuses now for bad work. If I did a bad job, that's bad. It's not like I can just blame my boss or blame a coworker. And again, I don't think I really did that at Tommy's, but point being, the only one that I can really blame for my success or failure is me. And that's a weight that I carry. That's a good weight that I carry, I think. It propels me to do better work. It propels me to always be working harder and doing more. And I think that's reflected positively on my work. I mean, a lot more people are reaching out. I'm getting referrals, right? Things are going well. And it's not to say that they wouldn't be going well if I was still part-time, but being a full-time photographer means that the pressure in a good way is on. The pressure is on in a way of like, hey, you get to do your fun thing now, so go do it. Like, do that thing excellently, do that thing well, take all that God has given you and flourish. That's your job. That's the part that I think is really cool, is that, the late nights that I'm spending or the weekends that I'm working or, the time that I'm taking away from things to respond or make things fast and easy for people, which I can always be faster and easier at things. That is my job. And yes, it is a sacrifice. Sure, it is a sacrifice to be a business owner, and you're putting a lot on the line. You're sacrificing time, right? You're sacrificing your security. But being able to fully commit to something for a long time, I struggled with that commitment. I struggled with actually putting my stake in the ground and saying, I'm going to do this. For 8 months, I was wrestling with the idea of being a full-time photographer. And now that I'm doing it, I am very grateful that I took the step. I know not everyone can, or maybe not everyone should, but the anxiety was worth it, because now I look back on that, the weight of that choice, and the positive fruit and the results of that choice have been so positive in my life that I can't help. I mean, just whenever I'm going on a lunch walk, I'll walk these sidewalks at lunch, and I am so grateful for the chance to be full-time. I'm so grateful for, even if it fails, like as I said it from the beginning, even if this thing just crashes and burns, which it could and it can, and I hope it doesn't, even if it does, it has been such a joy to try, like to really try and commit to something that I want to commit to. I think there is a lot of nobility in committing to something that you don't want to commit to as well. And I certainly could do more of that. I think I could be better at doing things I don't want to do, right? Doing hard things is hard, right? But there is a certain joy I found in committing to something like this that is life-giving, that I think I'm made for in a sense. And then being able to look at the fruit of that and be like happily surprised with how well it's going, but also like the reassurance from success, like the reassurance of, wow, yes, I think this was something that I should be pursuing, this was something that I should have been pursuing, this is something that I should pursue, and Lord willing that I can continue to do. We kept that to 11 minutes. I'm going to cut it off here, but thank you for watching, and that is what's it like being a full-time photographer.